what will it take to bring boxing back to the old school where the best fight the best? Obviously, you got the mindset of an old school fighter, but nowadays a lot of new school fighters play politics a whole lot. So, what will it take to bring boxing to what it used to be,
Well,
in
for
your opinion?
me, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, just calling everybody out until I get the fights. You know what I mean? There's not much I can't really do, nothing much. At the end of the day, I think the people start seeing, and people start saying shit, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I'm trying to accept all these fights, but like then you see Charlo saying that, oh, now I need a fucking I need to get vaccinated. Like who says that shit? Now you need to get vaccinated. What, you need fucking proof of my GED now too? What the fuck? Like this shit is crazy, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I want I want my respect. I really want it, and I want the people to respect me too. So that's why I'm going the route I'm going in. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm doing everything on my part, so I don't know.
Right. Have you guys sent Jermall Charlo an offer, or how does that work? Since you guys both on
But
PBC.
I don't send offers like that. I'm just a fighter. I've told if he wants to get in the fighting, I already got in contact with my people, Luis de Cubas. I told him if everything comes out good this fight, which I'm expecting everything to come out good, is it possible if we could get a fight with Charlo? He said, well, let me see what we could do. And that's probably the most like it's not. I'm not gonna send an offer like, oh, we got this much money. I can. I'm not a promoter
Of
or none
course,
of that.
of course, right.
I could just request the fight.
Yeah.
But that's probably the most I could do. But I mean, I did that already. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
When it comes to boxing, what do you think about nowadays? A lot of people make too much of a loss. If you take an L, you pretty much, it's like 10 step backwards. But obviously, a fight like between you and Charlo, that's such a 50-50 fight that the winner is going to put himself in a great position to maybe fight Canelo and force Canelo to pay attention to him. On the other hand, the loser don't have really too much to lose because it's such a great fight. So what's your take on the landscape of boxing today that a loss is like end all be all?
I feel like now in today's boxing world, I feel like they're just taking that shit way too serious. I feel like everybody wants to be Mayweather and everybody wants to be fucking have a perfect record. Everybody wants to do this and that. But like the thing that, like if you look at it, like these guys, they lose and they take way too long to come back. Like it just fuck. Like at the end of the day, I don't think a loss should diminish you or really bring you down that much. I mean, at the end of the day, you got here by hard work. So if you get knocked down, you lose the fight, you should just come back, work hard, and then get back to where you were. That's why I admire the guys from UFC so much, because when motherfuckers lose, they get knocked down, they come back like 2 months later, and they end up getting a win or some crazy shit. A lot of those dudes have losses, bro, but they're grinding, bro. They're grinding. So I feel like if boxing should take a page out of anybody's book, it should be the UFC. As the losers, I don't think just because you lose one fight, I don't think you still don't have an opportunity to be great. I mean? I feel like, what matters most is how you come back. And that's my take on that.
Now that's big facts because you got Barrera who lost multiple times, came back and had big wins. Pacquiao, Ali. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So definitely a loss doesn't define your career. But I gotta ask you because I remember watching your brother growing up and your father and your brother was about to turn pro, and you was out of the picture. Like you wasn't even in the picture. I remember like you was a chubby kid, and out of nowhere you burst out on the scene. So tell me, how did you get into the sport of boxing, and what was it that sparked something in your brain, and you wanted to do boxing and become a champion and be here where you are today?
Well, to be honest, I've been boxing my whole life. It's just I never had an amateur career. I had been boxing since I was 3 years old. So my whole life, boxing. And I only had like about 10 amateur fights, something like that. But that was because I was very overweight, you know what I mean? And my brother, I liked boxing, but I didn't really think that that's what I wanted to do, when I was a little kid. But my dad still made me work my ass off. Just because I didn't know if I wanted to be a boxer the rest of my life didn't mean I didn't work hard. My dad my dad, hats off and respects to my dad because, he made us work extremely hard. But when my brother ended up getting signed, he went to California. So I've been boxing my whole life. And you know, a little kid, you're just like, damn, man, I just want to fucking be a kid. I want to go play with my friends. I want to play Xbox. I want to stay home. You know, I don't want to fucking be training the whole time. So I feel like I was kind of burnt out by that age. They left. I was like 12, 11, and I moved with my mom, but I had always been a chubby kid. And that's when my eating just became, you know, ridiculous. You know, I think in a year, I gained close to 100 pounds, some shit like that. I ended up getting to 250 pounds. And one day I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I don't even fucking recognize who I am no more. Like, I really, my face took a different shape. I don't even know who the fuck I am.
At 12 years old?
I was 12.
12, okay.
12 or 13. So I'm like, so I called my dad up and I'm like, man, if I keep this up, I'm going to wait at least by the time that year ends, I'm going to be 300 pounds more. And that really scared me. It scared me a lot. So I called my dad, you know, just to go train over there in Hollywood in Wild Card. But I remember by that time, I still have fucking 9 years experience of boxing. You know, so I still had a lot of experience. So by the time I got over there, the first couple months, it was just, I would spar like older dudes and shit. I was like 13, 14. 14, I got down to like 200. And then I was sparring heavyweights in the gym right there. I think the first dude I sparred was Latif Coyote. And this fucking big Nigerian dude, bro. Fucking scary as fuck. He has scars in his face. You know what I mean? So I sparred him. And then my dad's like, well, you know, he's a kid, but he has experience. So if you can fuck him up, fuck him up. And I'm like, this dude's crazy. My dad's crazy, bro. Like, what the fuck? So there, I just kind of had to learn to defend myself. Because, and then too, I wasn't gonna start crying. I wasn't gonna stop the sparring because I'm not a bitch. I've never been like that. I'm like, you know, if my dad believes that he's putting me in these people, it's for a reason because he believes I could do good. So that's how I kind of learned to bring that side of myself out that I didn't even know I had. You know, I had to defend myself. So from there, you know, I was sparring. That was like the first big professional. You know, I think he was a world champion too. He was a world champion. I sparred him, and then I sparred other amateurs, other top, some pros right there. And then I turned 15, and I was like 190, 185. And I went to go spar Kelly Pavlik. And I surprised myself even there too, because I did amazing, bro. You know, I did really good with Kelly Pavlik. And then from there, my confidence just kept growing and growing and growing. It went from Kelly Pavlik to Peter Quillen. And then I got down here to spar with Golovkin the first time. It was before he even made his HBO debut. I sparred him, and bro, we had an amazing sparring. And Abel Sanchez was like, how old is he? He's like 15 years old. He's like, this dude is really good. So I kept going back. Until I was like 19. That's when I stopped sparring him. But we had some amazing sparring sessions. And then from there, I sparred Zurdo Ramirez. Who else? Gabriel Rosado, Dimitri Bivol. That guy, the one that had that Artur Beterbiev beat, the one at 175, Alex Gorski or something like that.
Yeah,
I sparred him. So I feel like that's really how I gained a lot of my experience, just sparring these top guys. Because you know, at the end of the day, it's a sparring session, but these motherfuckers are trying to kill you. Like if they can knock you out, they will make an example out of you and knock you out. And I never let nobody's ever, you know, I've always had the best end of the sparrings all the time. You know, I've never got hurt. I've never done none. I've never, you know, did bad in any sparring session. I've always did the best. And because I've always believed in myself too, I didn't let that, me not having an amateur career, you know, scare me or discourage me, because I knew I've always trained like this my whole life. I've always trained extremely hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just how I got to the point, man. I feel like that turned pro at 15. I started getting the fights. You know, I started fighting better people, and my confidence started going up. My power started going up. My speed started going up, and then just the experience overall is just, now I feel like I'm in an amazing place. That's why I feel like I'm in the best place mentally and physically in my whole career, and I haven't even hit my prime yet, bro. I just turned 24 in December, so I've been through a lot. You know what I mean? But I'm still looking forward to what's left to come.
Now you sparred monsters, man, as an amateur. Yeah. I mean, sparring them type of guys who need an amateur record. But when did you get back in shape where you were like maybe back to 175? Was that when you turned pro, or
yeah? When I was like 16, I was already fighting at I started at 175 and then 17 and 168, constant 168, 168, 168. Yeah, but that I just and then too, like when I found out I wanted to box, I was like, I was in school one day, bro, and I was like, fuck, bro, like I don't need these. I had dropped out once already. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what the fuck these people are talking to me about, bro. Like I just feel like an idiot here. Like I've just wasted my time when I could be training. I could be in a training camp. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, I'm not gonna graduate school. Like, what else is there left for me to do? I'm like, I have an opportunity to box, I have an opportunity to be a world champion if I train as hard as I can, if I give it my all. So I said, fuck. I just decided to drop out of school again. I dropped out twice, and I'm like, fuck it. Then I have no plan A. I have plan A is my boxing. I have no plan B. I have no plan C. I'm gonna just give it my all and see what happens. And by the grace of God, bro, I'm where I'm at today, and I feel like I could reach for the stars now. You know what I mean? Because I know the hard work it took me to get here. Because I wasn't anybody. I wasn't a top prospect. I wasn't a top amateur, and I worked my way from the bottom all the way to winning 2 world titles. And I feel like there's still a lot left for me to give to the fans and to the people, and there's still a lot left for me to accomplish.
Yeah, you definitely was born to be a champion because school is not for everybody. So we're glad you made that decision, Benavidez. But would you say sparring with all these top pros that were even champions, even the likes of Gennady Golovkin before he burst on the scene, that gave you more of a professional style of the jump?
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ.
Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called Scalp Micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. Basically, you will end up with a haircut shape up or an edge up. What they do is they tattoo small dots that look like hair follicles in the areas where you have lost your hair and then blend it with your existing hair. You can even choose what type of hairline you want, hard shape up or soft and natural finish. And to maintain it, all you gotta do is shave your hair every few days, which is something you already were probably doing anyway. Make sure you go ahead and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo de Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodekey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.